Andrey Rublev to serve.
Rematch
Ready.
of last year's.
Play.
Battle in the fourth round to get to the quarters. They do it again here.
Let's. First serve.
Missing on that
Love
passing
15.
shot. Comes in along with Berrettini, both of their career high ranks. Berrettini is number 8, Rublev at 14th.
Nice return right
Love
there
30.
up the line for Berrettini. Nice confident ball early in the match. Being a tall guy, that's one of the things he's going to be able to do today. Deal with the Rublev second serve. So Rublev's going to need to look for a lot of first serves in a high degree, good percentages there.
Have you noticed a lot with
15,
players
30.
like these two, Jan, like the faster courts this year really helping them out?
Well, I think the faster courts are definitely helping the bigger hitters for sure, or the players that can keep the ball low, slice the ball well, where the ball comes flat off of their rackets, also moves pretty well off the court.
30 all.
Through the court, I should say.
De Minaur, who reached the quarterfinals earlier, has said that he's liking the courts this year. His best showing is many of the spots in the quarterfinals taken by those 24 years old and younger.
Yeah, I think we're seeing quite a few of
40-30.
the new guard getting through this year in this event. It was something that's, to me, pretty exciting for us, for our sport. A lot of nice young personalities coming through. It's an exciting time for tennis.
Of course, Nadal, Federer not here, and Djokovic now out. Well publicized situation yesterday with the default. So already in the quarterfinals, you have a couple of 23-year-olds in Coric and Zverev will play each other. Shapovalov and De Minaur are both 21 years old. There's Berrettini at 24 against Rublev at 22.
Some great tennis from Berrettini. They're nicely defended out of the forehand corner, and that good control that he has on that slice backhand, I think is going to be something for Rublev to deal with today. How easily he gets this ball into the corner. That's a tough pass. It's pretty good intensity on his face right there early in this one. Liking it.
You feel like that slice backhand, like what does it do to an opponent? How does it set things up for that forehand?
Well, it's very difficult to generate pace off a good slice backhand, especially if you can get it deep or sometimes short in the court, so you can draw your opponent forward and a little bit to the right. Rublev's used to, hitting against the bigger, more topspin types of shots. He likes that kind of a ball. So if you can throw a few slices in, you can throw him off a little bit. And especially against a player who tries to dominate out of the middle of the court, which a lot of the players these days are doing. You're trying to get big forehands, dictate, hit inside out, get control of the points. When you can hit a slice into that forehand corner, it can kind of stop them in their tracks from being able to do that so easily. Berrettini has that tool.
Mr. Rublev is challenging the call on the right service line. The ball was called out.
Chase review shows that it was the right call.
Deuce. Mr. Rublev has 2 challenges remaining.
Berrettini pushing Rublev in this first game of the match.
Interesting stats so far. 0 for 5 on second serves, 5 for 5 on first serves.
Advantage, Rublev.
Last year when they played, it was straight sets for Berrettini in this 4th round at the Open. Berrettini won one of those epic matches, a 5-setter against Monfils to get to the semis.
Game, Rublev.
And Rublev goes tee to get the ace and
First game.
get through the first service game.
Well, I really feel like that's exactly how we're going to see Rublev's games go in a nutshell. I think that if he doesn't make a lot of first serves, he's going to struggle on his service games. If he makes a lot of first serves, he can kind of cruise through them. Berrettini returns well. Even that backhand return has even improved since last year. I think he's gotten better at hitting that ball back into court. Changes it up a little bit better on the backhand, and obviously the forehand is such a huge threat.
It was a fun run to watch by him too last year here at the U.S. Open. Finally met Nadal and lost in the semis, but
Matteo
fans
Berrettini to serve.
really took to him.
$15 left. $30 left. $30-15.
Nice depth there from Rublev on that return. I think it's a play for him to try to rush the Berrettini forehand if he can. Wrestle control of those points. Big returns or big ground strokes. Get that depth. Try to push him back a little bit.
Let's.
The
First
player
serve.
in the tournament that has not lost the game on his serve. Berrettini.
Nice little intentional
40,
short
15.
slice there. It wasn't really a drop shot, forcing Rublev forward. Again, a lot of control on that slice that he has there, Berrettini. The added strength of the two-hander he's done some good work on. Makes it even more formidable.
40-30.
Talk about depth. That was great depth on that return.
Deuce.
Nice serve, but Rublev, good speed getting that one back.
Rublev made the comment after he beat Caruso in the last round, asked about this match, says, pressure is on Berrettini since he made the semis last year.
Advantage, Berrettini.
And I agree there, Steve. I think the pressure is, I suppose, on Berrettini. Obviously, though you can't always recreate those magical results every year. But again, Rublev, I feel like he is that man with something to prove out there on the court. He'd love to have that result himself.
Maybe a little gamesmanship by making that comment.
Game
Tough on that
Berrettini.
forehand by Berrettini.
1 game all. First set.
A couple of fairly tough games to start out here. Both guys making inroads on the return side of things.
Served very well. Mentioned, of course, Berrettini. Perfect. Rublev's over 90% holding his serve.
15 love.
As expected, since neither of them have lost a set yet. 9 up, 9 down for each player through 3 rounds of the tournament.
$15 all.
There's that giant forehand up the line. Sliding into that ball. Can't place the ball much better than that or much bigger.
$15-30.
That miss there by Rublev. A couple of double faults only in each of his first 3 matches per match. Well, he overcooked it now.
15-40.
Chances for Berrettini.
This matchup's a little bit different for Rublev versus other players that he can play against, where Berrettini can actually overpower him on the forehand side and stay with him on the backhand, so it's tricky. One of those matches where Rublev really has to stay within
30-40.
himself. Can't overhit, but yet still has to hit the ball big. Maybe staying in the rally a little bit longer than he's used to. And play a little more defense.
Game.
Well, there's what you were talking
Berrettini.
about, setting it up with the slice.
Berrettini leads 2 games to 1.
Pulling Rublev forward, getting the break.
One of the remaining 2 spots in the quarterfinals of this year's U.S. Open will be claimed here after this match. And Berrettini getting the early break on Rublev. Dominic Thiem just won his match, so he's on to the quarters.
Huh. 15-love.
So far, no one in the tournament has been able to handle Berrettini's serve. We'll see what Rublev can do now that he's down a break.
That last one clocking in there at 130.
30-love.
Just hits the spot so nicely, Berrettini. Good amount of spin on that one there up to T. 128 with spin. Difficult to deal with that.
Oh. 40-love.
Too tough. Pounding those forehand winners here early on.
Game. Berrettini.
And quickly, Berrettini follows up the
Berrettini
break.
leads 3-1. First set.
That's that slice that I like for Berrettini, right up the line, driving it deep there into the forehand corner of Rublev. Rublev struggling to deal with that one. Extremely tough ball to generate pace off in that forehand corner.
Download the US Open app, cheer on your favorite players, track score, stats, and get the highlights. And you can do it all by downloading the app in the App Store and Google Play Store.
15-love.
The way Berrettini is served in the tournament, how much more pressure, Jan Mike, does that put on, a young guy like Rublev, knowing he's down a break already?
Oh, puts a lot of pressure. Puts a lot of pressure on anybody, young and old, to be able to serve that big. It's a nice play there. I like that forehand and then sneak volley coming forward. That's well put away in the forehand volley there.
30-15.
It's no mystery, I don't think, between these two guys. They've played several times before. Fernando Vicente certainly knows his stuff out there, and he's going to have a solid game plan for Berrettini. But if you think about it, Berrettini and Rublev both execute to their best of their abilities. It's going to be tough for Rublev to stay with him. Have to be very consistent, and sometimes that inconsistency creeps into his game a little bit.
Mr. Berrettini is challenging the call on the right far sideline. The ball was called in.
He had a good look.
That heavy forehand that comes
40-30.
just up the middle there. Rublev, not enough footwork on that last backhand, catching it a little bit late. Really have to keep fighting for position when you see a ball that heavy coming back.
Game, Rublev. Berrettini leads 3-2. First set.
So Rublev does his job there and gets hold that he needs. Berrettini still up a break here in the first set. Andrey Rublev unhappy there during the change about the lighting inside the stadium. He wants them on as it's still obviously light out. We're about 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, but saying he's having trouble seeing things.
Yeah, it's kind of that strange hour where it gets to be a little bit hard to see, and it's kind of a strange cloud cover out there. It's not an unreasonable thing for him to ask for the lights to be turned on.
But request, if it's even allowed, denied, and be automatic here at Armstrong. Berrettini has used the big forehand and has himself the advantage here in the opening set, this fourth round match on Rublev.
Yes, Dave, I think to further your comment, it's interesting. I think that if I was playing out there and it was bothering me, I would still be sitting in the sidelines. I would just be waiting for them to turn the lights on. That's just, if he believes they need to be on, then let's get them on. It's not going to affect Berrettini in the negative.
Last night when they came on, and again, I don't know the exact time, probably a little while from now, Jordan Thompson had a little bit of complaints kind of looking up into the lights, but Rublev during the changeover was pretty unhappy. Lights aren't on yet.
Well, we haven't heard anything yet from Berrettini, so he's seen the ball slightly better than Rublev so far. Nice serve to the body there. That's a good play against Rublev. If you can handcuff him a little bit in those big ground strokes, big swings he likes to take, be in good shape.
Berrettini made that big rise last year. Top 50 to top 10 into this year. Over an 8-month stretch.
Game. Berrettini.
Too much there from Rublev, so Berrettini continues dominant on his serve at the Open this year. And more complaints from Rublev.
A little pressure on the chair umpire here to try to get something done out there. Rublev is going to continue to probably have that be an issue. Put it out of your mind, though. A situation like this, important here for Rublev to continue to play better. In fact, raise his levels. Too many unforced errors so far. It's not going to help him to worry about the lights or lack thereof.
This is what he avoided, really well in his first 3 matches. Very quiet, calm, just went about his business.
Let's first serve.
It's definitely a different situation going against the kind of quality player in Berrettini. The offensive, huge horsepower that he has in the forehand and serve. We see that slice yet again being effective. Rublev can't have a sort of flat delivery on those ground strokes. Off of a slice like that, you really have to get underneath the ball, give yourself a little more net clearance, perhaps hit a little bit more spin.
That is his first point on a second serve. Finally get one. And well put together there by Rublev, in control of that point.
40-30.
Good stuff there from Andrey Rublev. A little bit more patience on the baseline there. Taking his time to set up this nice approach shot. Well measured overhead.
Game Rublev. New balls, please. Berrettini leads 4-3.
And the
First
ace.
set.
So Rublev, once again, keeps a little bit of pressure on Berrettini.
Love 15.
All tied up on the winner front.
A couple of more unforced errors by Rublev because of the double faults.
Again,
that slice to being the great equalizer that Berrettini has for him out here. A lot of firepower for both these guys on the baseline. Slice sets them apart a little bit. Berrettini hits it a lot better than Rublev.
Again, getting into the second serve has been absolutely no problem for Berrettini here.
Matteo Berrettini doing a little bit better on the second serve side of things, dealing with the Rublev second serve and hurting him more so than Rublev is able to do to Berrettini. Really taking care of those middle balls as well. Easily setting up that overhead smash.
Oh. 40-15.
His first double fault. Comes right back though with that serve.
Berrettini.
At 130 miles an hour.
Berrettini leads 5-3. First set.
Continues perfect holding serve in the tournament for Berrettini.
It's a pretty impressive stat. So far hasn't lost a set, hasn't lost his serve.
That's
Matteo
efficient.
Berrettini.
It's kind of a winning formula.
Check these two balls. One is more pressure than another. You think so?
Rublev unhappy with the lighting now. Rublev unhappy with a couple of the balls they're playing with. Seems like he's fighting a few frustrations out there, not just Berrettini's solid tennis that he's played so far in this set. He's going to need to put some of that stuff aside, get to the real deal out here playing.
Love 15.
So Steve, if it was me out there and I was Rublev in his shoes right now, I would try to do exactly that right there. Get some of this frustration out in this game. Down a break anyway. Maybe he gets through this set. Maybe he somehow finds a way to get back into it. Maybe not. But rip a few balls so you can have a clear head going into the second set.
Love 30.
Can't be missing second serves into the net, though. You've got to miss those long if you're going to miss second serves. Got to hit them.
He's going to have to put that second serve out of his mind and regroup in the next set. That's for sure. He's just been, you can't win like it. 1 for 14 on second serve.
$15-30.
Close ball on the sideline over there, but a little better point from Rublev. Finally getting through one of those rallies where he had to deal with that slice up the line into the forehand side.
Let second serve.
Again with the backhand return up the
15,
line.
40.
Berrettini's been successful on that a couple times. That was a good one. Not a bad time for it there, Steve.
So set points now. Rublev definitely is following what you said. Getting those frustrations
30,
out.
40.
I mean, if you're a power player, so you played actually kind of a similar type of game. Hit the ball hard, try to get ahead in these points, try to hit winners. One of the ways to get that frustration out is to do just that. Go bigger, go home mentality.
Oh.
Oof, Rublev will take that shank passing shot. I think it's a surprise on Berrettini's
Deuce.
face.
Again, trouble for Rublev with that
Advantage.
slice.
Berrettini.
Another set point.
Berrettini doing such a solid job of mixing up the spins out here. Those big forehands with the heavy spin there, jumping off the court, and that backhand staying so low on the slice side of things.
Longest rally of the match. Rublev saves another set point.
Deuce.
That's some fantastic patience finally from Rublev in that one. Tough point to get through. Berrettini knows he had to look at this pass. Baited Rublev with that little short slice again, drew him into the net. Couldn't make good on it. 27 shots that last rally. It's a long one.
Time violation warning, Mr. Rublev. Advantage, Rublev.
Rublev drawing the error. Might have changed it around a little bit by getting through a long rally like that, showing he's willing to do that. He's going to have to win a bunch of those types of rallies to get through this entire match as the victor.
Deuce. Mr. Rublev is challenging the call on the right far sideline. The ball was called out.
Did miss.
Advantage,
So
Berrettini.
fourth
Mr. Rublev has
set
one
point for
challenge
Berrettini.
remaining.
He's had a couple of real good looks on the last 2 set points. Just missed.
Deuce.
Nicely defended there from Rublev. Big forehand into the corner there. Berrettini making it tough for Rublev out here. He's quick to pounce on the shorter balls or take control of the rallies when he has the opportunity, but he's happy to stay in the longer points.
Advantage, Rublev. Game, Rublev.
Well,
Berrettini
Rublev
leads 5 games to 4.
powers his way through it, gets the points he needs. But Berrettini, deadly with his serve, can close out the first.
Drawing
Love
Rublev
15.
in again on that slice. It's a clear play that he's employing. He's done it several times, maybe 4 or 5 times in this set. Unable to come up with the backhand pass on that one. It's a little slow coming forward.
Many of the errors that he has had have come on that type of play. Not that time.
15.
A little better job on that pass. Got a hold of that backhand. Nice little dropper coming off that backhand feel that he has over there. He's a big guy, huge ground strokes, big forehand and serve. Has such nice feel as well. That backhand.
$30-15.
It was Berrettini in straight sets when they played in the 4th round last year here in Flushing Meadows. 6-1, 6-4, and then tiebreak to win the 3rd.
Another nice drop shot. That's to this game.
40-15.
You gotta like the variety in his game.
Well, it's difficult when you have to play against a player like Berrettini who hits the ball so big from the baseline. You have to respect that and kind of give yourself a little space. He has those kinds of shots that he can employ as well. It makes him very difficult to go up against. It's fantastic tennis there, Berrettini.
Mr. Berrettini is challenging the call on the right center service line. The ball was called out.
He'll take a chance here on what would be set point. Call holds.
Game in first set.
And Rublev misses, so
6-4.
takes the first set with a spot in the quarterfinals on the table, 6-4. So here's Rublev to serve to start the second. These two in their
15
fourth
love.
head-to-head matchup. Berrettini has now won 8 of the 10 sets between the two.
Nice forehand there, finding the line over there.
30 love.
Got a little look at the lights out there on Armstrong as they change sides. It looks like they're on. One less thing for Rublev to complain about. Hopefully get that focus.
He wanted him on about 25 minutes ago. Just before 6 p.m. here in New York.
Mr. No challenge.
Rublev thinking twice about challenging that ball on the sideline.
30-15.
Didn't look even close as far as challenge-wise.
He's got a little fly there, goes away.
Rublev still struggling with that
30
backhand
all.
slice, and I do respect Rublev for not just swatting away at the poor little bug that jumped on the court there. Some tender care.
Exactly.
Berrettini with a good look at that forehand. Just a little too close to the net there. I could have given himself a little more net clearance on that one.
Game Rublev.
So a good
First
start
game,
for
second
Rublev
set.
to the second set. A big positive for him. He won 3 of those points on second serves. The first set was disaster on the second serves. He went just 4 of 20.
Yeah, that's a huge stat for him going forward. Obviously, try to make as many first serves as you can, but you got to win some of those second serve points.
What do you look for as far as returning now from Rublev? How does he handle what Berrettini's been throwing at every opponent in the tournament so far?
Well, I think the thing is when a guy serves as well and has as big of a forehand as Berrettini, either You know, try to get the ball deep if you can get your racket on it. Try to make the guy play as much as possible. But if not, it is what it is, and you just have to go to a tiebreaker to try to win the matches like this. So you got to keep the scoreline close. We saw an early break in the first set. You can't allow that to happen. And Berrettini's going to feel even better about himself there. In fact, Berrettini almost had a couple breaks in that first set. Good stuff. A couple of great backhands up the line there from Rublev.
Love 15.
It's a great equalizer when the guy has the big forehand, tries to dictate out of the middle. One of them defended pretty well from Berrettini. That one right there in particular, but Rublev again going for the big one. Nice shoulder turn to sort of disguise that shot. Just devastating fire
15
right there on the forehand side. Nice angles inside out. Berrettini's so quick to get around that last one for the inside in winner.
Let's first serve. (30-15).
Change up there from Berrettini going to the forehand side of Rublev. I'm not sure if he was going for a body serve or what there, but it worked out. Last second serve, 102 miles an hour. He's got some pretty good kick on it as well. Not the easiest serve to hit big.
(40-15).
His confidence level when serving through the roof at this point.
Game, Berrettini. 1 game all, second set.
Level here early in the second.
Well, we saw Andrey Rublev in the end of the first set go the distance a couple times in some long rallies and get through a couple of them, the victor in those rallies. I think we need to see more of that from him here. Send the message to Berrettini that slice is going to be just an easy win for him.
Mr. Berrettini is challenging the call. Right service line, the ball was called in.
Oh, it looked like it might have missed, but we get another look.
(15-0).
Wow.
Mr. Berrettini has 2 challenges remaining.
That was one of the closest balls that I've ever seen to be called in. Just because of the angle of the shot, it somehow found part of the line.
expression, by a hair. Literal there.
I mean, modern technology, man. That's amazing.
30 left.
I do think that Andrey Rublev looks a little bit more settled out there.
No, how does he wrap his head around what he's facing here with Berrettini literally being perfect holding serve?
Well, I think so far in this set, so has been Rublev. The first set is over. Nothing you can do about that. So settle on what's in front of you, what's in the present. Take care of things there.
40-50.
Another nasty slice backhand from Berrettini. Beautiful shot. You can hit it deep, you can hit it short, you can keep it low. If you give him a forehand, he's going to hurt you. It's fun to watch.
Just too much there from Berrettini.
40-30.
That's really, it's just a play that works so well for Berrettini. That slice really kind of nullifying the pace of Rublev. Berrettini able to get a hold of the forehand, get in control of the point. Wrestling it away in the end.
Game Rublev. Rublev leads 2-1.
Good point there
Second
for Rublev. 2-1
First set.
in the second.
Berrettini.
No fans of this year's U.S. Open due to the pandemic, but Berrettini's got himself a fan. The gentleman's name is Giovanni Bartocci. And on the other matches that Berrettini has played on the outer courts here at the U.S. Open, he's been outside the grounds and the fences cheering rather loudly. So here's Berrettini in the quiet of Louis Armstrong Stadium, serving. So Giovanni Bartocci calls himself the biggest fan of Berrettini, says, quote, "I'm the crazy Italian guy." And last year, after wins, where Berrettini had the great run to the semifinals, he went to the restaurant in Manhattan that Bartocci owned. But then the restaurant, I mean, very sad, was destroyed in a fire back in February.
Oh, wow, that's terrible news.
Yeah, so Bartocci's been out here and cheering from outside the grounds. Well, perhaps he's lurking tonight.
Hopefully he can rebuild his restaurant. That's
15.
I know how it is winning matches and feeling pretty good about yourself to go to the same restaurant. When I made the quarterfinals at Wimbledon, there was an Italian restaurant in Wimbledon that I would go to before all my matches. And the owner of that restaurant, we became friends, and I got him tickets the next year. In fact, I think I got him tickets that year to the matches. Food there was good. 30. I'm a superstitious guy. A lot of tennis players are. A lot of athletes are. So
well, then what you have every night?
I wasn't going to change it up.
What was the specific meal, or did you change it up at all, or same thing every day?
I like a penne Alfredo and maybe some chicken parm or something like that. I don't remember the exact meals. I'm not that crazy. He's a nice guy, though. Great food.
Well, Bartocci has said that because of what Berrettini did for the restaurant, he was able to make it through the last 7 months after the fire. And then Berrettini the other day said he wants to, maybe can, try to do something to help him out.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that'd be terrific, yeah, really would.
Berrettini's going to need to help himself out in this game here, facing a couple break points for the first time.
Let first serve.
That's one saved, and in the tournament he's now 11 of 11 break points saved.
A little change of pace there for Berrettini, going to the two-handed backhand, just staying solid in that point. Didn't go to the slice.
Game Rublev.
And Rublev finally does what no one's been able to do.
Rublev leads 3 games to 1.
Berrettini.
Second set.
And goes 3-1 here in the second set. First service game lost in the tournament by Berrettini after going 51 for 51. First 3 rounds and into the 4th round. USOpen.org, your online home for point-by-point live scoring, highlights, real-time stats, and the draws. So visit the official tournament site at USOpen.org.
Well, Berrettini in that last game did get enough first serves in, really let Rublev into a lot of those points.
Let it first serve.
For his cause, played a couple of longer rallies, and then that last one drew that, I think, poor choice in the drop shot there from Berrettini. Not a good time for that. We've been talking about it, where Rublev needs to get it through a few of those longer rallies and win, show that he's out here to go the long haul. Good stuff there from Rublev.
15 left.
And got rid of some of the agitation in that first set. Wasn't too happy with the lights not being on and questioned the balls at some points. But here he is at 3-1 in the second.
Let first serve.
Beautiful winner there from Rublev.
30 left.
Who's played well here in New York. This is his 3rd time in his 4 years. The US Open, reaching at least the 4th round. He got to the quarters back in 2017 as a teenager, beating a couple of top 10 seeds along the way, and Goffin and Dimitrov. Finally lost to Nadal.
Game Rublev. Rublev
follows up that
4 games
break
to 1. Second set, first set, Berrettini.
Andrey Rublev runs it to 4-1 in the second. Lights taking effect now here at Louis Armstrong Stadium. 4-1 in the second for Rublev. So Berrettini serving. His last game was one where finally an opponent broke him.
Love 15.
That big forehand right up the middle. It's a good play for Rublev. Kind of take away the advantage of Berrettini getting around that, take away his angle. push him back a little bit. He's so devastating when he gets inside the paint in front of that baseline. Example of that there.
15-all. (30-15). (40-15).
Much better service percentage getting that first serve in here in this game for Berrettini. Now at 53% for the set and the match.
Game. Berrettini.
Quick
New balls,
hold
please.
for Berrettini.
Rublev leads 4-2. Second set.
See that wind blowing just a little bit now. As we get into the early evening, day number 8 of the U.S. Open. Fourth round wrapping up. Spot on the final 8 on the line in this match.
Big 1-2
15
there for Rublev. That forehand cross court starting to make its mark in this match here. If I was Rublev, I would try to pin Berrettini to that forehand corner as much as possible. That means the backhand up the line. Gonna have to take a few chances on that if he can choose the right ones. But also that forehand cross court, try to dominate those rallies a little bit.
He's got it rolling on his serve now here in this set.
40-love.
Big turnaround on that second serve from the first set, winning the majority of his points.
Left for serve. (40-15).
And that for me was one of the things to avoid. Do not get into a slice off with Berrettini if you're Rublev.
Game Rublev. Rublev leads 5-2.
And
Second
gets
set.
the ace.
First set,
so
Berrettini.
Rublev keeping an arm's length between Berrettini and himself. So Berrettini serving to stay in this second set. Rublev has really picked it up in the second with his serves, and he got that big break.
(15-love).
Seemed to all get a little bit better when Rublev started playing, well, longer points, a little more consistently out there with his firepower, willing to stay in the rallies, but also stopped worrying about lights, the balls, all the different things that can affect him in the match, and got more to just playing the tennis. Could be said also, however, that the lights being turned on actually helped him, so maybe it was an actual thing that hindered his game. It's good stuff there from Rublev. Nicely played point.
15-all.
And overhead money often. He rarely misses that shot. Those guys pretty successful coming forward. See them often do so on sneak volleys or well-placed approach shots. Neither one of these guys forcing their way in that often.
$30-15. $40-15.
Berrettini opened him up there, so he gets his hold.
Rublev leads 5-3.
Keeps the pressure on Rublev.
Rublev here with a chance to level this match off at a set apiece.
$15 left.
This time the dropper works. That's a good place to put it if you're Berrettini. Go behind your opponent.
15-all.
Force him to also not only change direction, but also have to move forward for that ball. That's well played.
Just did get it after the nice serve.
30-15.
That is a crazy slice that he just hit Berrettini. That ball just dying in the court.
30-all.
Not sure if he meant to hit it that good. Look at this slice. Just turning a corner on that ball. Unbelievable control. Rublev giving him a look after that. What was that ball that came off your racket, dude? Nice serving response and rewarded with a set point.
40-30. Game and second set.
Rublev comes through there, so he gets that break.
6-3
early on in the
settle.
set and takes the second. 6-3. A set apiece now.
Absolutely, and I think that the first serve percentage for Berrettini was also not in his favor, especially in that game that he was broken. Not enough first serves there. A little better afterwards. Let's see if Berrettini can keep that stat up high the rest of this match. Nice little scramble from Rublev, making Berrettini play one more ball, but not enough.
You know, Rublev has had an excellent record this year, was playing very well before the pandemic shut down the sport, and said he worked on his fitness a lot during the pandemic and also used it as time to mature. I really like the quote from Rublev. They asked him about the whole situation going on in the world. He said, "I can't complain. Millions of people are losing their jobs."
Depth in that backhand there, and I think it's a really thoughtful way and the right way to look at, you know, it's more than just about you. Everybody's in this pandemic together and everybody's been affected in different ways in their lives. Obviously, as an athlete, however, for Rublev, it's an opportunity for him to get ahead on certain things that maybe he couldn't work on before. Obviously, he's gotten over some injuries that he's had in the past, so both an opportunity to get past that and maybe improve his fitness a little bit, maybe get a little bit stronger, be able to execute his big ground strokes for an entire 5-set match versus maybe 3 or 4 sets where it could have been in the past an issue for him getting through matches like that. There we see that backhand slice again working its magic for Berrettini, getting himself out of a little trouble there. Want to be looking at another 15-40.
Angry at himself. He had himself in that point.
40-30.
Berrettini lost a lot of those forehand exchanges. The cross-court exchanges, I think, is so important for Rublev in this match. To pin him over there, keep him on that side so he can't dominate in the middle of the court. It's one of the few that Berrettini's gotten through.
Oh.
Deuce.
Not enough on that second serve, and Rublev letting him know it. Seen some of those second serves be over 100 miles an hour today. That one at just 92. Rublev does not allow his opponents to get away with that.
Has he made any adjustment, have you seen, Jan-Mike, from Rublev on that slice backhand from Berrettini?
Rublev.
Well, we saw there him playing a little higher ball over the net there. It was a nice little point that Rublev played. He was very consistent in that, willing to stay in the rally. When he got the break before, we saw him stay in a couple long rallies. He won the second one from 15-40. It's good initiative there from Rublev. Slice just a joke up the line right there.
Did such a nice job staying at the point.
Rublev clearly affected by that slice there, even showing a slice there out of frustration. I mean, you wouldn't think he did that good of a slice just right there that's going to slide off the line in that point. And Rublev himself hitting a couple lines in that last rally. Think he likes the slice there, Steve? Doesn't seem like it. Berrettini savvy. He sees him do that over there on the other side of the court. He's going to say, well, you don't like my slice. Clearly, it's a strategy he's been using. He uses it a lot against a lot of opponents because it's such a good slice. Set up those big opportunities in the forehand just like that one. But you see somebody do that over there on the side of the court, and you're like, well, that's fine. I'll give you a bunch more of those.
Deuce.
Talking about that first serve percentage so far, 30%. It's pretty low.
Yeah, that in the set, now under 50% for the match.
Nice firepower on the forehand side.
Advantage.
Playing Rublev,
Berrettini.
he really dials himself into these rallies. The more he plays longer rallies, the better he feels about hitting those big ground strokes and taking some chances. One of the things you can do against a player like that is throwing the slice, throwing those heavier forehands, hopefully make a bunch of first serves so he doesn't feel as comfortable in those situations. You've seen in the last set or so, Rublev really settling in to these rallies, and part of it's because Berrettini's not making enough of those big first serves.
Game Berrettini.
A little better there.
And Rublev made him work, but Berrettini comes through to open up this third set. Save the break point. this fanless U.S. Open, you hear every noise, everything everybody says around the court.
It's true. Everything is just amplified in that stadium, especially when the players exclaim out there. It sort of echoes around in the stadiums. Big forehand there, inside in, nicely done.
Mr. Rublev is challenging the call on the left center service line. The ball was called out.
Berrettini's face there as he took a close look. Wow, that's why Berrettini made that face. It was tight. Tries that drop shot again.
30 left. Mr. Rublev has 2 challenges remaining. $40. $40-15.
Just going a little too flat off that slice. It's a tough ball to hit. Got to give that ball a little bit more of an arc on that one if you want to be effective.
Game Rublev.
Well placed there on that serve to grab his first service game of the third set.
Left for serve. Love 15.
Fernando Vicente, possibly what I read from that is stay positive, stay focused, keep that head up.
That point puts a little pressure now on Berrettini.
Love 30.
Talk about his serving. He's only been broken once the whole tournament. Now, Rublev has now held 46 of his 50 games in the U.S. Open this year. And he has definitely put all the ancillary things away here and just focusing on tennis.
Berrettini going to the dropper well way too often here. A couple of missed ones in the last couple of games. Part of that because Rublev's willing to stay in these longer rallies, putting the pressure on him. It's not a shot you want to be hitting at love 30 on your own serve. Previous point, Rublev hitting a nice backhand up the line. That's the exact shot I think he needs to continue to apply pressure to that Berrettini forehand side. Only in the corner will it work. I'm going to give him too many forehands in the middle.
Game,
Big
Rublev.
point there. Nicely done by Rublev.
Rublev leads 2 games to 1.
So he gets another
Third
break.
Set, 1 settle.
And goes ahead in the third set. Gorgeous scene, beautiful sky in New York City on this early evening. And a spot in the quarterfinals on the line, a set apiece. Andrey Rublev now up a break here in the third. He has really come on and recovered after the first set did not go his way. Continue to build on what's been an excellent 2020. 22-year-old.
Rublev continuing to do a good job of attacking the forehand corner of Berrettini. Nice forehand cross court there.
$30 left.
Big forehand. And this is what he did in the second set when he got the break. He followed it right up with a quick hold at love.
We're seeing the opposite we saw in the first set. Rublev really getting a hold of these rallies right now and dictating.
Game, Rublev.
Berrettini ahead in most of those rallies in the first set.
Rublev leads 3 games to 1. Third set.
Strong effort there on that service game by Andrey Rublev. Stay connected to the U.S. Open on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can join the conversation with hashtag US Open. 6 of the final 8 spots on the men's side claimed this match, and then Tiafoe Medvedev in a little while for the other spot. Winners will play each other.
$15 left. $30 left.
Berrettini making his life a little bit easier in this game. Some first serves, setting up that big forehand.
$40 left. Game, Berrettini.
So Berrettini with ease gets
Rublev
his
leads
hold.
3 games to 2. Third set,
Rublev
1
still
settle.
up a break in the third. Here's Rublev, up a break in the third. He's really picked up his serve as the match has gone on. Berrettini with the return winner there. Just the second point that Rublev has lost on his serve in the set.
$15-all.
Yeah, those first serve points won for Rublev were fantastic. 89% for the match. Stats you dream about. Backhand slice has been so solid this entire match. Starting to miss a few, Berrettini.
Gave Rublev all kinds of problems early on.
$40-15.
Started 130, equaling his fastest. Rublev working quick here. Right back up.
Mr. Berrettini is challenging the call on the left center service line. The ball was called in.
That serve looked pretty good to me. Get a second look at it though. For Matteo out here. I guess it was pretty good, but it was good enough.
New balls, please.
Third, really close one.
Rublev leads 4-2. Third set. Mr. Berrettini has 2 challenges remaining.
Second consecutive love hold for Rublev. Trying for his second quarterfinal appearance here at the US Open.
Another tricky little shot that Rublev tried and almost made. Nice hands from Berrettini on that lob volley.
15-love.
He went big on that one.
$30-love. $30-15. $30-all.
Great chance here for Rublev.
Let first serve. $40-30.
Just too much there. Had break chances in 3 of the last 6 games. Berrettini served.
It's a strange mistake, that last forehand. I felt like he didn't really have a target. He just hit it hard. Serve.
Game. Berrettini. Rublev leads 4-3. Third set.
Berrettini gets his hold, and here in the third set, Louis Armstrong Stadium. Still Rublev ahead. Rublev now nearly unbeatable when he gets that first serve to go. Trying to get within a game of this third set. Charge again at that point.
30 love.
Rublev really finding his mark on the first serves like he did in that match against Caruso. There's a good look at the stadium there from the air.
Likes that one, and in that last match you mentioned against Caruso, only lost a total of 4 games. On 2 of the sets, 6 love. Trying for a 3rd consecutive love hold.
Game Rublev.
And gets it.
Rublev leads 5-3. Third set.
Now goes 5-3 here in the third set. Berrettini serving to stay in it. Now a little frustration being shown by him.
Andrey Rublev has really reversed the roles here. Definitely frustrating Berrettini. Berrettini trying to go into the two-handed backhand. That exchange, backhand to backhand, if he goes to the two-hander, does not favor Berrettini. The Rublev backhand two-hander, a better shot. Berrettini's a little bit better when he's moving that ball around the court with the backhand and going to the slice here and there.
15 left.
And then getting forehands to really dictate.
Rublev has had himself a terrific year. Of course, sports stopped for a long time. 17-4 record. Coming in.
15 on. $15-30.
Rublev continues to put pressure on Berrettini's serve. Now a couple of points from grabbing the set. Rublev, just you see the confidence right now in his game.
15-40.
Rublev just moving the ball around the court so well, and again executing so well on that overhead there. We see him attacking the forehand corner and opening up into the backhand. Really, that's the play against Berrettini. If you can get the ball over into the forehand corner, run him over there where he's not quite as effective, and then approach to the backhand side, there's going to be opportunities to put the point away. That was a good one from Rublev.
(30-40).
Maybe the lights were the problem early in the match when he was complaining.
They very well could have been something that actually bothered him.
Playing the lights were not on yet while it was still slowly starting to get a little bit darker. They've pretty much taken full effect now.
Oh, wow. Berrettini finding an impossible angle
Deuce.
on that forehand inside out.
Beautiful there by Rublev, and another set point.
Advantage, Rublev.
Guys both with so many impressive forehand winners.
Game end, third set. Rublev, 6 games to 3.
Gets it done.
Rublev leads 2 sets to 1.
New York City, the sun glistening off the river as the 2020 U.S. Open being played. A fanless event during the pandemic. Terrific
Rublev
for the USTA and the U.S. Open putting this event on. Just a gorgeous shot of the city. Early evening. 2 more spots left tonight in the quarterfinals. Berrettini and Rublev. Tiafoe Medvedev will play for the other spot starting shortly.
Ah! 15-love.
Andrey Rublev, after dropping the first set, is taken over here against the number 6 seed, 24-year-old Berrettini. Rublev looking to return the favor as Berrettini beat Rublev in the 4th round here last year.
Fault.
Oh, wow. Again with that big forehand.
30-love.
That backhand rally there for Rublev is in his favor. Saw Berrettini in the first set take a lot of those slices up the line into the forehand corner of Rublev. He's pretty successful doing that.
Oof. 30-15.
Not a bad return here. Shrug your shoulders, walk to the other side of the court. Nothing you can do about a return like that one.
Ledge for serve.
Rublev possibly just taking his eye off the ball a little bit.
30
We saw
all.
Berrettini run to the other side of the court.
(40-30). Game Rublev. First game, fourth set.
So Rublev, strong start there to the fourth. Look there at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center. Still odd to see it without people. Terrific that tournament was able to be played. Middle there, Arthur Ashe Stadium. We're on Louis Armstrong Stadium, which was over on the right.
I saw my friend Eric Budarak out there while I was having lunch, and
15
atrium, I guess we can call it, out there where the big TVs are, and talked about how difficult it was for them to get this tournament together and actually make it happen. It was back and forth for so long. I was just saying to him how I know how much work went into it, and thanking them for making this happen for all the players. And
30 left.
you could hold this tournament this year.
We're now in week 2 of the tournament. Remember, the Cincinnati tournament, the Western and Southern Open, was held here the week before that. Some of these players have been here in the controlled environment.
Stop moving, please.
Players' hotel for a while. Some movement in the stands there. Those in the controlled environment, employees are allowed to watch these matches.
Left for serve.
The only folks you see in the stands, or of course members of the players' teams.
A few of us broadcasters out there watching some of these shows. I think the players are happy having a few people in the stands.
Yeah, Serena had I'll say, larger than a smattering of applause this afternoon on Ashe.
Serena getting through a tough one there. Good stuff from her.
Maria Sakkari gave her all she could handle in a 3-set.
30-15. (40-50). Game, Berrettini.
So Berrettini
One
does
game
the
all,
job
fourth
to
set.
level off this fourth set. His job to get something done against that Rublev serve.
Nice positive response there from Berrettini after that game too. Little fist pump looking at his supports. Box, coach.
15-0.
Just a nice serve out wide there. Nice connection. You hear that ball come off his racket. Andrey Rublev generates as much pace as he possibly could on that serve. A little bit of a slight flip frame really gets that racket through.
40-0.
127 up the tee.
Game Rublev.
And once again with ease,
Rublev leads 2 games
Andrey
to 1.
Rublev
Fourth set.
uses his serve and has his nose ahead in the fourth. Andrey Rublev up 2-1 in his career. He's won 9 of 10 matches. He gets a lead of 2-1. Berrettini, meanwhile, has come back a couple of times when he's been down. Did that at Wimbledon the last couple of years.
Love 15.
That's a good forehand inside out. Nice depth on that. Definitely, Steve, I don't think that the fitness or the reality of the possibility of playing 5 sets is going to phase either of these guys. Both of them ready to do just that.
Both won their first 3 matches with straight sets. Very efficient tennis.
$15 on. $30-15.
Berrettini can make his life a lot easier if he can make more serves like that.
$30. Left for serve. $40-30.
It's a lot bigger point than you might think right there. Break point early in this fourth set would be very troublesome for Berrettini.
Left for serve.
This is the spot where Rublev broke him in the second and third set. Pretty much had it on cruise control the rest of the way.
stuff. Some of those longer rallies that I said Rublev needed earlier in this match to get through and play, to dial in his game, have really gotten him to the point where he's hitting his ground strokes so solid, dictating more of these ground stroke rallies than he's not. Wasn't that way when this match began.
Advantage, Berrettini. Game,
Nice
Berrettini.
there by Berrettini.
2 games all, 4th set.
So 2 games apiece here in the 4th.
Berrettini again showing that good feel that he possesses in those hands. Seen some great drop shots from him, a couple of bad drop shots in the 3rd set. Cost him a little bit, but that one back on the good side of things.
Check out usopenshop.org, the official shop for 2020 US Open merchandise. One-of-a-kind US Open accessories this year. Online at usopenshop.org.
Let first serve.
Hey!
15-0.
Hop!
30-15. Let first serve. Let first serve.
Good stuff there from Rublev, effectively getting the forehand corner of Berrettini. Saw a nice backhand up the line earlier in this game into that corner.
Oh, he knew he had that after the serve out
40,
wide.
30.
You don't see Andrey Rublev do that very often, but he kind of massaged that forehand, kind of pushed it into the open court. Get the racket head through. That is not a normal forehand for him.
Still a little breathing room.
Game
Beautiful. Rublev's forehand does the job that time. He didn't hold back on that point.
And 2 sets
and goes up 3-2 in the 4th set. Pressure on the shoulders now of Matteo Berrettini, down a set. Andrey Rublev cruising along on his serve.
Love 15.
Again, with the good attacking play there from Rublev into the forehand side of Berrettini. Too good there, getting that first serve in and allowing him to really rip that forehand.
Took a pretty good swipe at that return. Rublev stayed steady after some struggles in that opening set.
That play is pretty much working every time that Rublev can really get some good pace on it. Forehand cross court, the one that I thought he needed really to get through this match and to be even with Berrettini on the firepower side of things, has been working for him these last few sets.
Now, 30 clearly on the shoulders of Berrettini. First break point of the set. Chance for Rublev.
Missed that passing shot, went for the ball up the line. The cross court was open for him there. Really solid point from Rublev, digging in that backhand side to field those big forehands we were seeing from Berrettini. Bit of an opportunity missed there for Rublev. Good point for both guys.
Well, he gets another chance, a second break point of the game.
Advantage, Rublev. Game, Rublev.
And he gets it. The return on that first serve, and Andrey Rublev.
Rublev leads 4-2, fourth set.
Can see the finish line here, up 4-2 in the fourth. And the job he has done serving since really the second set, but really since the start of the third. Berrettini's had a hard time getting any points against the serve. Berrettini, a semifinalist here at the U.S. Open last year.
Love 15.
We'll see if the reality of the situation for Rublev here affects him at all. He's been dead solid in these last few sets, starting in the second set there. Actually, end of the first set, he started playing a little bit better ball.
Fifteen. 15-30.
Little chatter from Berrettini, maybe perhaps understanding how effective that backhand slice was in the first set for him. Haven't seen as much of it in these last few sets. Rublev really ruling the ground stroke rallies.
All.
Berrettini now.
30-40.
Break point. He's done a nice job staying in these points in those first serves. Rublev's been hitting them in. So after the other breaks, they were quick holds at love for Rublev. Not the case this time.
Deuce.
Nice time for one of those first serves. Rublev taking a little bit of pace off that serve to make sure he made it out wide there. Smartly going into the backhand side of Berrettini.
Missed on that
Advantage
slice.
Rublev. Game, Rublev.
And Rublev
leads
recovers, saves the break point.
Fourth set, 2-1.
The Russian is a game away from the quarterfinals at the U.S. Open. Matteo Berrettini serving to stay in the match now here at Louis Armstrong Stadium. It's all Rublev right now after the first set. Rublev here at this year's U.S. Open is now won 11 of the 12 sets he's played. Swinging free on that
15
point.
love.
Yeah, exactly. Rublev finding the line there almost on both of those shots, just barely missing in that last one.
15 all.
Rublev just really seeing the ball out there right now, just ripping this return back. Berrettini having to play catch up in so many of these rallies.
(30-50).
And so many answers in that first set. One of the keys was when Rublev was serving, he dominated that second serve. He punished him on that second serve. It's been a complete reversal since.
Latch for serve. (40-50). (40-30).
Just firing away.
There's that play we love, the big forehand into the forehand corner of Berrettini. It has completely nullified the huge Berrettini forehand, the big asset that he has on the baseline in this last 3 sets.
Since that one a couple of games ago, you said he held back a little bit. He's not held back since.
Game, Berrettini.
Well, he had him playing
Rublev
defense there, but
5,
Berrettini gets
game
through that
3,
game.
4th set.
Rublev trying to serve his way into the quarters.
A slight indecision there on that last backhand volley for Rublev, but it was the good play coming forward. Take that ball out of the air, smart play, but chance here to serve for this match.
Last 2 sets. Berrettini's only got 9 total points against the Rublev serve.
(15-month).
That beautiful shot that he has in that backhand side, that slice has started to malfunction a little bit. There's a dead eye on it in the first set.
(30 left).
129 there from Rublev. Couple of points away.
(40 love).
And again, Andrey Rublev coming down the stretch here with authority. And he's got it.
Set and match
the
Rublev.
Revenge for Rublev.
3
After
sets to
losing
1.
to Berrettini in the 4th
4-6,
round last
6-3,
year, Rublev
6-3,
dominating
6-3.
after the first set here. 4-6, 6-3, 6-3, 6-3. And the 22-year-old is in the quarterfinals.
Thank you so much, Matteo. Thank you very much. Good luck. Good luck.
He's through to the quarterfinals here at the 2020 U.S. Open. Andrey Rublev.